the last 3 years, Shonen Jump has managed to keep the entire manga community in a chokehold, with some people barking and stories that keep hitting the spotlight over and over again. But what about the ones that got passed up? The ones that got overshadowed by series such as DanDaDan, Mashle, or even this that is extremely stupid and slightly addicting. The series that I'm talking about is Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days is a manga that was published in Jump Giga as a one-shot, and to be honest, the art looked horrible. Now granted, the best I can draw is this, I can still tell a difference between this and this. So what makes Sakamoto Days deserving of the spotlight? Amazing fight sequences, art that'll leave you in awe, characters that you slowly fall in love with, and if you genuinely believe I'm talking out of my ass here, just know that Sakamoto Days is one of the most refreshing series I've read in quite some time. Sakamoto Days is about the greatest hitman of all time, Taro Sakamoto. One day after walking into a 7-Eleven, he fell in love. He retired, got married, and had a baby. Sakamoto now works as a convenience store worker. However, later on, Sakamoto is being hunted down by Shin, an assassin that can read minds hired by the Hitman Association, as he can never just stop being a hitman. However, with Sakamoto's vast amount of skills, he fights back. Before anything happens, let me introduce you to the cast. Shin, who originally was hired to hunt down Sakamoto, as I said earlier, but later on was saved by him and ended up becoming an employee at the convenience store and now helps protect Sakamoto and his family. Flash forward a little bit, both Shin and Sakamoto are in Chinatown. Some girl called Lu jumped over them because she was being attacked, blah blah blah. Apparently her and her family was hunted down for a hidden fortune, blah blah blah. She gets helped by Sakamoto and Shin and she gets hired. If you like Gintama, you'll love this series because the parallels within these series are uncanny. Sakamoto and Jintoki put their lives behind them and focus on a fresh future, still kicking ass even though they try not to. Shin and Shinpachi play the little brother or apprentice role, seeing Taro as an example, and Lu, like Kagura, is a girl that has talents within martial arts, and also a pretty important family. But apart from these parallels, the humor and comedy is pretty similar in the way that each series delivers it. Now, Yuto Suzuki is an absolute expert when writing fights. What he tends to do is use the environment to his advantage to create insane fight sequences. For example, Sakamoto and Shin are just having a nice family outing at a fair. They get on a roller coaster, but something seems off about this one guy. Shin reads his mind, he knows he's trying to kill Sakamoto, so one guy. Shin reads his mind, he unbuckles the guy's belt, jumps off the ride, they fight on the tracks, but wait! Shin gets poisoned, they both fall down, Shin somehow is in a bunny costume, and he beats him with his eyes closed by reading Sakamoto's mind. Or when they're in a museum trying to find their friend that got captured by a group of people called the Lab, and then a goddamn dinosaur busts through the wall. These fights aren't just any generic fight you've seen that goes a little like this. Domain expansion, restless gambler. Idle Death Gamble is a domain based on a real pachinko machine. The rules are easy. Hit the jackpot by getting 3 of the same symbols. And hitting the jackpot means I, Hakari, get a bonus. Just wait till you find out what it is. If I generate a visual effect once or more, I advance to a Riichi scenario. I choose the effect, but its success is up to luck. Rainbow colored indicators are 4 consecutive. I think you get the point. All this is only on one page, with 2 extra paragraphs and some overcomplicated graphs. But even after reading all of this, I was still confused. No, it's simple uncut fighting that you could see anywhere. At Torii Gates, a PetSmart, Tokyo Tower, an elevator shaft, Florida, World Star, Chicago, an airplane. These fights are absolutely incredible. I've rarely seen the environment being used in the way that Yuto Suzuki uses them. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be praising this series the way I am if the art was horrible. Like I said before, if the art still looked like this, I wouldn't like it. However, the art in the series is completely out of this world. The perspective in some panels are absolutely amazing. The switching of art styles, such as in this panel, to simply express the eeriness and the darkness is fantastic. And this series has honestly the best set of covers in Shonen Jump next to DanDaDan. The sidecast is pretty cool too. First, we have the villains of the series, which so far are these 4 death row inmates: X, not that one, this one, Kashima, and Gaku. Then we have the Order, which as the name implies, they keep order in the assassin world. The Order includes Hyo, Nagumo, Osaragi, Shishiba, and this badass old man. What the fuck? Overall, the sidecast is insanely strong, but their character design is the main thing that sticks out. It makes every character unique in one way or another. Everybody has their own weaknesses, even the most powerful people in the world. Elon's is a son, Jeff's is his ex-wife, and Andrew Tate's is Hassan. But what I love about this series is that each weakness is what makes you fall in love with each character. Shin and his psychic abilities pushing everybody away from him, and he's seen as creepy and disturbing. Lu losing her parents pretty early on in her life and flashbacks showing the love she had for them, and Sakamoto doing everything he can to protect those he loves. These small things that the story decides to add rather than being a manga with just cool fight scenes is what makes Sakamoto Days great, because they're not fighting just because someone is trying to kill them, although that is a huge reason. They're fighting to protect the family that they've brought together. Is great. I enjoyed the movies a lot. The fight sequences, Keanu Reeves acting his ass off, but the one thing that pissed me off is this guy. Now, if you don't know what he did, just know it involved a dog. And from there, every kill became justifiable to me, and we have a character just like him. X. X is undeniably a pretty easy villain to hate. He abducts children, he commits mass and he threatens Sakamoto's daughter. So yes, it's pretty easy to say that you want him dead. But there's one rule that this family has: no killing. Or Sakamoto has to get a divorce, and there's nothing scarier than paying child support. But this symbolic pulling of the reins is what makes this family so wholesome. The pulling back of Ai, making making sure Sakamoto doesn't go back to his old life, the cute moments with Hana, the funny tsundere dynamic between Lu and Shin, and the unit that Sakamoto managed to build. Yes, I know this series can be passed off as an overpowered assassin taking on everybody else, but what leaves an impression on you is the family that as time progresses Sakamoto ends up building over time. Or you can see it as him getting cheap employees because 850 yen is nothing.